Chicago appears to be the next city President Trump is eyeing for a military takeover, all in an effort to fight crime, as he and his administration claim. But city officials aren't taking this sitting down. In response, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson signed an executive order directing the city to use every legal mechanism to combat a potential deployment of troops or federal law enforcement into his city. And here's what Johnson told our colleague, Reverend Al Sharpton, on this network just a few hours ago.
In fact, I don't know of any American city that is calling for the occupation of their cities by federal troops. It's unconstitutional, it's uncalled for, it's unsound, it's illegal, and it does nothing to drive violence down.
All right, joining us now is Kat Abu-Ghazaleh. She is running for Congress in Illinois' 9th congressional district, which actually includes parts of Chicago. Kat, great to have you back on the show. Let's start with your potential constituents. If you were to win, what are you hearing from the residents in those neighborhoods in that community about these threats from Donald Trump?
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen people in the 9th District be kidnapped by ICE, some of them being held at detention facilities that are supposed to be detention facilities where people are held for only 12 hours at a time. But because ICE doesn't want to do that, they're not given blankets or proper housing, essentially. They are sleeping on concrete floors and held for days or even weeks at a time. In my own neighborhood in Rogers Park, we have patrols, people that respond to ICE when or if they are seen. And we're seeing that across the Chicago area. My own campaign office, for instance, serves as a mutual aid hub where people can get food, water, clothes, but it's also a place where anyone is welcome except ICE. And we are seeing that at a lot of places in Chicago. And I encourage everyone to adopt similar policies.
Kat, do you think that this issue could be a political loser for Democrats opposing Donald Trump and his offer of federal intervention, given that you look at some of the recent polling just today from the AP, and a majority of Americans, right, left, Republican, Democrat, do believe that crime is out of control in urban cities, and around 64% support some kind of federal intervention. They may not support what Trump is doing, and they may not like troops on the ground, but they support the idea of being tougher on crime.
What we've seen in cities across America, including Chicago, is that crime is actually down. But you have people on the right, including Trump, including Fox News, that are pushing narratives that crime is up so that way they can consolidate their own power. And that includes ICE. And I can guarantee that the majority of people in Chicago don't want masked goons coming into our community, kidnapping our neighbors off the street, and essentially just being able to do whatever they want without identifying themselves. Frankly, I think this idea that we need to send in the federal government, send in our own military against our own people to match up with a narrative that Trump has created, it makes no sense. It's unpopular for the people actually living in these cities, and it's dangerous. And Chicago has been through this before. We're about to go into Labor Day, which was created after the Pullman strike, when Grover Cleveland sent in U.S. Marshals and the U.S. Army to attack workers who were striking. Chicago is a favorite cudgel for authoritarians, and they're just doing this again, but we're prepared.
But at the same time, the murder rate is high in Chicago. So voters do want to see that being addressed, perhaps not in the way that Trump is proposing, but what can Democrats do to address those concerns about crime?
The biggest way you can fight crime is meeting people's material needs. This goes for almost every negative consequence we see across the country, across the world. When people's material needs are met, they are less likely to fall for misinformation. They are more likely to be able to get education. They can afford housing. They can live lives that all of us want to live. But the problem is our system is built that the average American can't afford housing, groceries, or healthcare. It's what I call basic existence, which you can find on my website, catforillinois.com. But it's a very simple concept in most of our peer countries. Yet here we act as if it's some pipe dream.
Kat, your mayor has put together a sort of, he has a announcement about, or some kind of an executive order about the masks, the ICE people wearing masks. Nobody likes that. That is wildly unpopular and super scary and very un-American. Do you think that's a good targeted way to combat that? And do you support that? And will it work?
Oh, absolutely. I think every single city in the country should adopt similar tactics. Having masked men who don't have to identify themselves on the street, it's not only scary, it's incredibly dangerous. We're already seeing people be imposters of ICE agents and assaulting women that they just take off the street. This is the precedent that we're setting. And I think we can't pretend like this is fine. It's not alarmist to say that these are goons. This is a secret police that is going into our cities to kidnap people, abduct people off the streets, many of whom have not committed any crimes, many of whom are American citizens. And I really encourage our leaders to recognize the seriousness of this and communicate it. It's the same with RFK Jr. right now. We need to tell Americans, you need to get vaccinated now while you still can. You need to fight back against ICE now while you still can. You need to be getting everything you possibly can to prepare for the rest of this administration, so that way we can build something better after.
Okay, you say fight against ICE right now. I'm curious to get your thoughts on what needs to be done to defend immigrant communities in Chicago. What does that look like when you say fight against ICE?
Yeah, what we've seen over and over again is ICE agents are cowards. When neighborhoods say, get out of our neighborhood, they do. I was protesting at the detention facility out in Broadview, and they called in Uber Eats for dinner and made the driver come inside because they were scared of a bunch of peaceful protesters that were standing outside. That is why they wear masks. They know what they're doing is wrong. It is important, especially if you have a platform, if you have a privilege, if you have power to stand against these people. Call them out publicly. If you are able to, and I'm not encouraging people to put them or their families in danger, but if you are able to physically stand between your neighbors and ICE, I promise to do that. If any of our voters, any of my constituents as a congresswoman, if I'm elected, if ICE is coming after them, I will stand between them. And anyone that has a platform needs to be doing that right now. We also need to ensure that people know their rights. We're actually doing a Know Your Rights campaign at campuses around and in the 9th District with business-sized cards. So that way people can have them in their wallet, in their pocket, in case they are detained by ICE. ICE notoriously hates Chicago because we do know our rights. This is the only place Trump has ever canceled a rally because he's scared of protesters. We need to make sure people know what is happening, know their rights, know that their community is behind them, and also have resources available for people as their material needs aren't being met.